I was just walking, and I can't claim to be neurodivergent because I haven't got a diagnosis. And my daughter, who is has a bachelor's psychology, reminds me of this, and I agree with her. But my curiosity on it is like when people have patterns that you can look at their whole entire life, why we need the proof by a diagnosis. I'm just curious. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. But if you look into people's lives, like when I'm around my friends who some diagnosed, some not, when I see they're looping, I can say, hey, I see that you're looping. Do you need me to, hold the line for you? Or all these different things, like, or if they've been sexually abused, instead of like telling them not to be a victim, it's more of like, how can I support them better? And I think there's something that keeps coming to me with this, because it's very hard to get a diagnosis. It costs a lot of money, and it can take a long time. And if you're older like I am, sometimes the steps seem like insane. And if you don't have a support system in that way that can walk you through it, it feels insurmountable. But I get really stuck on this curiosity of just kindness and compassion. Like when I see like a homeless person or an unhoused person, I don't think judgment right away. I think, man, they're living a really hard life, and maybe I should just say hi. Or someone who is struggling with a physical disability, I don't think they're not human or classify them as less than somehow. I've never had that feeling. And wow, I'm gonna cry. I know myself, and I understand how I get stuck, and I understand that I've been very naive and done a lot of silly things in my life, for sure, not understanding how I was working, and pushed myself to a point of collapse way too many times. And part of it was that I came in and I got pregnant at 18, and I had 6 children, and I love those kids so much. But my life has been filled with like not being able to control my nervous system. I've had to take a lot of space away, which makes people feel sometimes unloved, right? And you don't always know. People are like, well, ask for help. You don't actually even know sometimes where you're at. Like, you're trying to get a bearing on it, and you can feel really good inside, but as soon as you go to do something, you just don't have the capacity to do it. I mean, the other day I had to go get my health insurance, and it overwhelmed me so much thinking about taking the train back home. I walked 3 hours just to divert that. I'm fine once I'm in a pattern. Like, I can do that pattern extremely well, and I will be very strategic, and it will get better and better. And I've seen that in my life. But if I fall off a pattern, which I am right now because the job I came for didn't pan out, and then I'm, putting out hundreds of resumes and trying to talk to people and going through trying to go to school or anything, like following every single rabbit trail, and how much that actually burns me out when nothing comes back. But it still comes back to this thing of like this compassion on each other. Like I have lots of friends who just follow everything by the book, and I am so proud of them. Like, I'm so proud of them. Everything they've earned, everything they do. I just, this thing about being disabled, I don't feel disabled. My daughter said to me, you're the least disabled person in this world. She doesn't really know what I go through on an everyday basis in my own head, or with physical ailments, like that they can never figure out what the heck is going on ever in my whole entire life since I was a small child. but I've managed and I keep going, but it feels like it's such a wrong fit. Like it doesn't fit for me. I can't do it like other people do it. And I don't know, does it make a huge difference if why it makes a huge difference for me to be able to prove to someone what I am when I'm just telling people this is actually what I'm dealing with, this is how I feel, this is what I'm going through, and people are like, well, you're just being lazy, or you're not trying hard enough, or this is how you have to do it, and then I do it, it doesn't work, or I get another freaking autoimmune response for no apparent reason. And I'm just curious about it. I really am. Like, it's no judgment. I just don't understand why we can't just see people for what they're obviously going through and how they're acting, and understand that they're not trying to pull a fast one on anyone. I don't even know what kind of fast one I'd be pulling on people by just saying this is actually who I am. Like, am I manipulating people? Like, because this is my life? I don't know. You know, all these things that I've been told since I was a kid, like I didn't want to be part of the family. That's not true. It's actually a total lie. I just have a hard time with a lot of stimulation, and I always have. Or I'm being hard because I can't eat certain foods because it makes me feel like I'm going to gag to death. Or that I have weird patterns, which I do. I have to be alone a lot. I get that. I have to walk miles and miles every day just to keep going. But I don't understand what the point is. And maybe someone can tell me why we can't just trust that people are just telling us. Like when friends have like a chronic illness, and I have had lots of friends who do, my first response isn't prove it to me. Or if someone says I was sexually assaulted as a child, I don't say, too bad for you. Like I'm just always, I don't really understand. And I'm not being judgmental. I actually don't understand why that would be our first response. Why it would be like, you better go get diagnosed, or there's something wrong with you. And I'm struggling with this. Because I believe I have a lot of good things to bring to the table, and not many that people would classify as that. But I still really love myself, and I want to be here, and I love life. But when you keep getting cut out of every single thing everywhere you go, and you don't really understand why, or people use you and you're not even aware of it, or they call you stupid, or they think you're stupid when you're not. I just have a different take on things. And I know, like, I'm teary because I'm just speaking how I really feel. And I don't feel judgmental against people. I don't feel that. I understand there's just a misunderstanding. Like, we're speaking different languages. But I know right now, like, I'm in Montreal, I don't speak good French. And I just sat down on the bench with somebody, and he spoke French, and I just listened, and we'd get little bits and pieces, and we just stayed present. And I was like, is that hard? Maybe it is hard. Maybe it's hard to just accept people for what they're saying and who they are, instead of our perceptions of what they are. And I just wanted to say this because it's so on my heart lately, because I'm getting older, and definitely when I went through menopause, my brain just froze. My brain froze for a good year, and I became homeless and lived in the wilderness and ran every day and took showers under the waterfall. This is actually true. Met other people out there who were like me. A lot of elderly people who didn't know what to do, and it made me sad, because the reason I got out of that was because of my good friend Sarah, really. And we lived together while she was going through the passing of her husband, and it really healed both of us. But it's that support, and it's like I couldn't have asked for help because I didn't know what was going on with me. And she couldn't ask for help either because she didn't know what to do. And so the two of us together moved through that. But isn't that how we're supposed to be? Not supposed to. Shouldn't we care? I don't know. Anyways, this is like an emotional thing, but I really wanted to share it.